Hello everyone, this is Wes Weatherwise with a new video. Today we are seeing no severe weather all the way through Sunday at least. We do have elevated fire weather today. With that being said, over here in California, out over here where we actually had our tsunami warnings yesterday. If we continue on to, we're just going to move to day 2, then 3 through 8. We will look, we actually have a day 5 critical fire weather risk. This could pose a major threat down there in Southern California, which is already seeing wildfires across this area. So that'll be something to watch for. If we head over here to the overall winter weather impacts, we are going to be seeing that over here in the day 1 through 3 is the main area, with areas over all the way through this blue highlight at least being a possibility. As I would like to point out, we're getting into this closer time frame that this part of Oklahoma, Kansas, maybe even northern Texas could start to see their first snow and maybe a white Christmas. We'll just have to watch and find out. We head over here to precipitation type and array and scroll down here. We will fast forward this. This is Saturday. Right now, we see, where did my mouse go? Okay. We see some rain mixing in with snow over here, which will eventually die out. We still do see a little bit of snow ongoing up here in the northeast. Then a little bit of freezing rain up here in Canada, where it turns into a wintry mix. Continues potentially heavier snow going on. As you fast forward, down here, this could turn into maybe a little bit of a severe weather threat before we see even more snow heading up here into parts of Washington and northern Oregon before we get really calm with a high pressure that builds across the United States. And we also have another high pressure over here limiting any precipitation all the way over here, along with all of this area. As we continue, those high pressure systems move off. This one stays stationary, but I'd like to show you. This is Saturday the 14th. This is showing a low pressure system to dip down towards the Red River of Oklahoma and Texas. As you can tell, it goes away and we have a new one form. But this one at 1,000 millibars could still take a path and maybe bring some rainfall to maybe even a few snow flurries like places like southern Kansas, northern Kansas into northern and northern Arkansas and Oklahoma. As we continue, we see a low pressure system come back. This one's going to ride the Oklahoma-Kansas state line before it dips back off here to the west. With that said, it is going to bring the chance for a return of rain around the 15th and maybe even potentially some snow flurries before. This is the big thing. It is very questionable whether it will end up happening. But here, we are watching for the potential of a severe weather event. Granted, take this as a grain of salt. This is over a week out. But with that being said, we could see a return of severe weather across parts of the Dixie Valley and Ohio Valley, with snow on the backside up here and towards Minnesota. As we continue on, this is where we see our more prolonged Dixie Valley severe weather threat. It is still 11 days out here, so we cannot forecast this, but it is a hint. Maybe we could get something. As that will move offshore forward, becoming very intense is what the GFS has this offshore and some pretty heavy snowfall up here. But here's where we get questionable. We see potential snowfall across this area. Potential for the first snow for many people. And I will go ahead and show you that by walking you through up closer. This is precipitation typing rate on the GFS like we had been showing. If we move this forward there, as you can see, a little bit of snow. Wednesday, next Thursday, next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here we get into Monday, the potential for some snow flurries maybe. That is also my birthday, I'd like to point out. But we see some snow up here, along with some heavier rain showers up here in Nebraska and Iowa, where we see some spotty showers in Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, Missouri, and that is the first rain in a long time for these states. And we're questioning maybe some snow flurries back here on the back side that would not accumulate to anything, but maybe a potential. Where we walk a little bit more forward, it doesn't have a very big area, and especially in Oklahoma, it has a more of an area in Kansas with a bit of a heavier looking band, but this is still way far out. But it is something to be looking for. This is 12 days out, but it does show it's sticking around for quite some time. That's why I'd like to walk us over here to the GFS again with snowfall. This is all the way through. But if I'm gonna back this up some, so this is the 18th. So as you can tell, it does want a coating across this area. So I'm going to draw this out real fast in 4 colors. This is super far out, so do not take this. But this blue area you see, I'm saying 0.1 to 0.5 inches. So anywhere from a dusting to a half an inch. Next one is going to be yellow across this area. That is going to be 1 to 1.5 inches. Then we're headed to red. And this is going to be across almost a little bit of the same area for 2 to 4 inches of snow. Then if we continue, this is going to be, I'm going to have 2 areas for this. Over here and across this area. That is where we can see anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of snow. With that said, this is over 300 hours out. Take this as a grain of salt, as I like to say. There's a chance this happens, there's a chance it doesn't. So there's one more thing that I would like to go ahead and look at. And that is coming down here, not for snowfall, but temperature anomaly. So as you can see, we have our dip in the jet stream right here, bringing us snowfall across that area, colder air. If we continue on, as you can see, we see a decent warm-up for like almost all of the country before here comes our next Arctic blast. It's gonna surge in, bringing much below average temperatures. As you can see, we do get a little bit of a cold shot actually returning the 8th, so that's only 2 days away. So this could happen, which that is actually where we were originally looking at potentially for the first snowfall. Not showing that anymore, but still maybe a slim potential. But as you can tell, we see a Arctic blast start to file in here. As with this said, it is going to be very slow moving, as it is still like almost stationary. as we continue, we see negative 28 degrees below average. And even up here, it's still very, very cold. Upwards of negative like 40 below average. Before it will finally move off. And we will definitely be watching for a potential another snowstorm across the Ohio Valley and Northeast. For this is around that time. So here's the 15th, 16th, 17th. This is our shot. So as you can tell, we were looking at the potential for snow across this area. And here it is. This is around that time. This is the 18th through 19th. We see our cold shot. So I like to put these states on alert. Or this area on alert. That area, be on alert. Potential first snowfall of the year. Very minimal. But then we see bitter cold. A potential warm up, but then also potential first snow. Hope you guys all enjoyed watching. I will see you guys in the next one.